If you have had a mortgage forgiven loan or a car loan forgiven, because all of these loans, every single one of them were under false pretexts. They're all fugazi. They're all fake. Okay. Fake, phony, and false. Okay. So if you have had any debt forgiveness of any kind and you want to get on my show, listen, the other day we had two people, both at the same time, debt forgiveness. I'm sure that the floodgates are going to open up. I would love to have a bunch of boxes, like, 100 people go 2 minutes each, whatever, 3 minutes each, all talking about their own personal debt forgiveness. This way we could put it to rest once and for all that it is real. Nasara and Gesara is happening slowly because there's not going to be any debt reevaluation under these bozos. I mean, let's call an ace and a spade, please. You know what I mean? So don't forget, again, June 9th, okay, June 9th. Thank you for coming on the show. Even this is going to be short and sweet and right to the, point. June 9th, Quantum Summit. I think it's going to be timed just perfect. 166 Center Street, stayingalive.com. That's where the tickets are going to go for sale. The actual link will be right down below. There'll be some maybe advertising letting you know that it's coming, and we'll let you know exactly who has accepted. There's a list going out to about 70 of the who's who of the who's who when it comes to having a major presence out here in this podcasting world, whatever you want to call it. But the facts are that I believe personally. Now, you know me, I don't believe in dates and all of that. I don't make any price predictions. I don't do any of that stuff. I leave that nonsense up to other people. I don't put my neck out on that stuff because it never happens. So I don't do stupid stuff. But the reality is, it's gonna be in Cape Canaveral, I believe by. But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is without question the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, t-shirts. You got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There will be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Unified TV will take over Netflix. We're bringing in the next genre of movie producers and storytellers and actors and actresses. And we're telling the story of how the world is going to be on earth as it is in heaven. Gesara Nasara is coming. Don't make no mistake about it. Gold and silver, right down below. Promo code Mel Carmine. Make sure you use the promo code. Almost $8 billion in sales. We're direct to like a bunch of mints. We are the ones that can get you the gold and silver directly to your door, okay, at the cheapest price. Don't even waste your time looking for a cheaper price. It doesn't exist. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. Our Patriots are literally waiting for you in the room. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail, and we'll get you as much as you. Well, good evening, folks. We got Patrick Elifson. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. He's down somewhere in the east of Phoenix area down in Arizona. And guess what, folks? We got another debt forgiveness. Don't tell me it's not happening, because it's happening, okay? And he happens to be an XRP holder, XLM, XTC, probably a little stronghold. I know he's got some gold. He's got the silver. He's got the dinars. He's pretty much across the board with the stuff that we know is going to be the ones that are going to reevaluate, and the new quantum financial system that's about to take place. And I do have to make an announcement. The Quantum Summit. It's going to be, the invitation is going to go out probably next week once we got a perfection, okay? It's going to go out to the who's who of the who's who of the who's who, okay, when it comes to this new world that's coming, okay? Even 107 is actually stressing a major interest in coming. SG Anon is getting invited, just to throw some big names out there. I know that Black Swan is getting invited. I know that XRP Lion, which happens to be a favorite of a lot of you folks out there, he's getting invited. It's about time he comes out and plays in the sandbox because his people want to squeeze him, touch him, kiss him, all that stuff. So it's time for the lion to come out. I'm the guy that was responsible for letting him out of the cage about a year and a half ago, and I don't regret it. I tell you, because it's been one hell of a ride for him. He's grown dramatically. I was able to help him out with that. But we got debt forgiveness. Patrick Efferson is got debt forgiveness with documentation, which always beats what? Conversation, brother. Welcome to the show. Tell the people your story, please.
Thanks, Mel, for having me. Well, so been a follower of you for a little over a year. Like I mentioned to you earlier, started watching you on YouTube, and then decided to follow you on Telegram. And I think just like a lot of people out there that are in the community, I started waking up probably about March of 2020, right when whatever happened. I'm not sure if you can mention that or not, but it's interesting because at that time. Uh, not sure what the intentions were, if they bad guys or not, but really what they did is since we had to stay home and work from home, we started doing a lot of research. I started doing a lot of research. And right around that time, started following a lot of different truthers, really waking up. And one of the things that obviously was going on during COVID was that obviously they're going to defer student loan payments and whatnot. And my wife just had a little bit, not much left. We've been out of school for a while, but we were getting ready just to kind of pay the balance off. And I just said, I just pumped the brakes. And I said, I go, we're not gonna, if you're not requiring to pay right now, I'm just going to pump the brakes because I truly believe that since this is obviously money that's borrowed from the Federal Reserve, that this debt is going to be forgiven at some point. And so obviously we waited it out, and I can't remember, at least 3 years in deferment. I think that what the student loan was and whatnot. So interestingly enough, so last August, and I'll go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here if I can, Val, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Can you see that, Mel?
I sure can.
Okay, so last August, we get this letter in the mail, and it's from ED Financial Federal Student Aid, and it's directed to my wife, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just read, it says, "Congratulations, the Biden-Harris administration has forgiven your student loans listed below with ED Financial Services in full." And I'm like, well, okay, that makes sense. But when I first read that, I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense to me because the Biden and Harris administration has nothing to do with what I've been following for the last few years. So then I continued to read down, and I thought this was very interesting here. You guys can see that this forgiveness is effective as of April 30th, 2017. Well,
Sounds
we
like
all
somebody
know.
forgot to mail you this in the mailbox. Somebody, you ever hear the checks in the mail?
Yeah,
That's what this
yeah.
sounds like.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, so this was forgiven when our good old boy, Mr. T, was in office. This was not
Mm-hmm.
forgiven. This was not done in the Biden Harris administration. Okay. Obviously, it took that long to get me the letter. Okay.
Yeah.
But this was not done during the Biden Harris administration. And
Yeah.
if you look down, there's the loan program. So this was dispersed. That's when my wife obviously took out the loan, was in August. I think it's 15th, 19, is it 95? Yeah. And then we had a little bit of a balance on there. So that was forgiven. Okay. So we got that back in August. And so, of course, I told my wife, I'm like, do you see what's happening? I mean, you kind of finally believe in, what I'm saying. Also shared it with my kids and whatnot. And so, just kind of moved on and kept following things. Now, basically, and I have another one too. I don't need to. There was two loans that were forgiven. One was forgiven April 30th, 2017. The other one was in October 2017. So that was taken care of years ago. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, and I'm gonna share the next screen here. One second, Mel.
No worries. Take your time.
Yep. So I received this in the mail Thursday, just last Thursday, a few days ago. Okay, so if you can see that, that, my friend, is a check from the United States Treasury for $5,899.33
Mm-hmm.
to my wife, Julie. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you look down here at the memo, it says this refund is being sent due to student loan refund. Okay, and then you look at the person, obviously the agency that took out the loan was the U.S. Department of Education.
Yeah.
So not only did my wife get a couple loans forgiven in 2017, we got a refund from other loans as well when she was going to school. So we got a double whammy there. So I just thought that was really interesting. And if you look also, Mel, on here, where's the date? This check was cut on April 25th, 2023. So almost a year ago, this was cut. Okay, so and I don't find it
I wonder
I
what
don't find
took
it
them so
coincidental.
long. I wonder what took them so long. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. And of course, I went to school, the same school as my wife, and I had student loans, and I've not gotten my loans were paid off, but I've not gotten a refund yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be looking for that in the mail as well. So
Right, right, right. Awesome. Well, that's proof. That's the proof is in the pudding. Guys out there, if you have had a mortgage forgiven loan or a car loan forgiven, because all of these loans, every single one of them were under false pretexts. They're all fugazi. They're all fake. Okay. Fake, phony, and false. Okay. So if you have had any debt forgiveness of any kind and you want to get on my show, listen, the other day we had two people, both at the same time, debt forgiveness. I'm sure that the floodgates are going to open up. I would love to have a bunch of boxes, like, 100 people go 2 minutes each, whatever, 3 minutes each, all talking about their own personal debt forgiveness. This way we could put it to rest once and for all that it is real. Nasara and Gesara is happening slowly because there's not going to be any debt reevaluation under these bozos. I mean, let's call it ace and ace and a spade, please. You know what I mean? So don't forget, again, June 9th. Okay, June 9th. Thank you for coming on the show. Even this is going to be
absolutely.
short and sweet and right to the point. June 9th, Quantum Summit. I think it's going to be timed just perfect. 166 Center Street, stayingalive.com. That's where the tickets are going to go for sale. The actual link will be right down below. There'll be some maybe advertising letting you know that it's coming, and we'll let you know exactly who has accepted. There's a list going out to about 70 of the who's who of the who's who when it comes to having a major presence out here in this podcasting world, whatever you want to call it. But the facts are that I believe personally. Now, you know me, I don't believe in dates and all of that. I don't make any price predictions. I don't do any of that stuff. I leave that nonsense up to other people. I don't put my neck out on that stuff because it never happens. So I don't do stupid stuff. But the reality is, it's gonna be in Cape Canaveral. I believe by June 9th, I think the whole world is gonna say, hey, America has got two presidents. One who never left and one who's fake, phony, and false. He's a fugazi. You got it? Okay. He's not even him. Even Donald Trump says, Joe is
Yeah,
shot. Of course he's shot. Somebody shot him in the back of the head down in Guantanamo Bay. Okay.
it's definitely not him. It's
It's
definitely not
definitely
him.
not him. There's no question about it. You have to be stupid not to figure that one out. Okay. And you could argue all day long the ears, the teeth, the lips, the birthmark. This guy's righty. The other guy was lefty. I mean, the anomalies just go on and on and on. So hopefully a lot of people are going to come down. I believe a lot of people will come down based on the names that are going to be performing on stage. It's going to be an all-day event that starts at around 11 o'clock in the morning. It's going to go to 8 o'clock at night. There's going to be an after party somewhere for the VIPs, and it's going to be epic. And we're going to be broadcasting it live worldwide. So there'll
This
be
is when
tickets
again, Mel? June 9th?
June 9th. Yeah, tickets
Okay.
for online will go for sale immediately after we sell out the event. If the event sells out real fast, we might add a second date to that. We're not sure yet. We're sort of feeling it out. So let's see who wants to show up. Let's see who we can advertise that's coming. Let's see how fast the tickets sell, and that will determine the course of events to follow. But I do believe that we're going to go, live on the internet, and I believe that because of some of the people that are invited, that I believe will show, some of the big names. I think we're probably going to have 10,000, 15,000 people joining us live from all over the world, based on the fact that we're actually living history right now. We're going through living history. It's going to be absolutely mind-boggling. I believe there's going to be a price jump between now and then. I really, truly believe that we're not going to be at a 57-cent XRP. I would be very shocked. I'd be very disappointed if that was still to be the case. I think the writing is on the wall. They're trying to do everything in their power, obviously, to try and save Bitcoin. I think it's all kabuki theater, because the one that does nothing is going to go to nothing. And I'm going to say it again. The one that does nothing, it's still stuck at 3 transactions per minute, and the Lightning Network doesn't work. And with thousands and thousands of attempts with
It's not
thousands
an
of
ISO coin.
What's
It's
that?
not an ISO coin. It's not an ISO coin. It's
Yeah,
not going to
it's
do
not an
anything.
ISO. Exactly. Absolutely. It's not Basel compliant, guys. Okay. So, with that said, because it does nothing, and because the Lightning Network, thousands of teams around the world, programming teams, some of the smartest programmers in the world, okay, some of the best programmers in the world have come together over the last 11, 12 years, have tried to speed it up to no avail. To no avail. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of attempts at this point, and still 3 transactions per minute. People are still waiting 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Sometimes you might wait a day or two, depending on how busy the network is, to get your Bitcoin. And if you're moving 2 or 3 Bitcoins, you're paying thousands of dollars to receive or send that Bitcoin. Folks, it doesn't work. XRP is the Bitcoin 5.0 on steroids. It's here to stay. That's been proven. It's scalable to 3.5 trillion transactions per second. You're crazy not to own it right now. It's 55 cents, whatever it is, 56 cents. You're crazy not to own it. And if I was you, I'd buy as much as possible. Not financial advice, but I know how this movie ends. I'm sure, Patrick, you know how this movie ends. You own a
Absolutely,
lot
and
of it.
just make sure, like I do, and listen, just get your crypto or digital assets off the exchange, get it on a hardware wallet, get that protected.
Yes.
That's the main thing. Make sure that you do that. I'm not sure what exchanges are going to do, but I'm not leaving it to chance to leave it on exchanges.
Yes, absolutely. And don't forget, don't buy your hardware wallet from, listen, I've had people say, I bought my hardware wallet at where? Best Buys. Best
Yeah,
Buys. And there's no more XRP on the wallet.
yeah.
I'm not making that up. This is a true story. Happened 2 weeks ago. Hello, folks. My name is Mel Carmine, and we are right in the middle of a tectonic shift, the biggest wealth transfer that is going to hit this entire planet like a tsunami on steroids. This will never happen again, at least not in our lifetime. Many of you still have the opportunity to get in right now. Joining our Telegram group is perhaps the smartest thing you'll ever do, and it won't cost you a single dime. We have tens of thousands of patriots waiting for you, and they'll take you by the hand to teach you the ropes so that you don't get slaughtered. Not the global reset. This is not the global reset, but rather the quantum financial system reset, the one that's attached to Gesara. It's coming at us at 800 miles an hour. The question is, are you ready? Are you in position to receive wealth beyond your wildest dreams? There are 6 to 8 tokens that are going to completely and entirely dominate this landscape. And no, it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. Join our Telegram group today, and don't forget to visit the Quantum Financial Systems Manual at QFS1776.com.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody called me, and this is not the first one, probably won't be the last one either. Okay, they bought their wallet at Best Buys. There's 0 XRP on that wallet. They bought a hacked wallet. If you go to QFS 1776.com, and your little black banner will take you directly to the manufacturer. You buy yourself 2, 3 of those suckers. Don't talk to anybody that tells you that they are Mel Carmine. There's only one. That's me, and I don't have
Oh,
time to
that
call you.
happened, Mel. That happened when you contacted me on Telegram and you left me the voicemail and then gave me your contact information. I mean, within 10 minutes, someone messaged me posing as you, wanted to know. And he's kind of like, hey, and for 1 second, I was kind of letting him go, and then he's like, don't put your XRP on a ledger or a Trezor, put it on the QFS ledger. And I'm like, you're not Mel. And all said he deleted the whole conversation. They're quick. They are quick to
They
do
are
it.
quick.
So
They got all these bots out there, and as soon as you bite on them, boom, they got the real person, a real person talking to you, posing as me or posing as Michelle Green or posing as one of us. Even XRP Lion is now, he's a big dog now. Okay, XRP Lion. There's phony Fugazi people that are posing as him, and it's not him. It's not us, folks. We're trying to tell you, listen, if you're college educated and you know nothing about this world and you come in and you think because you went to college, you're smarter than the rest of us, the chances of you getting slaughtered is pretty effing good. Okay. But if you're street
unfortunately, a
smart,
lot of people are still asleep.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
If you're
you know.
street smart and you got a little bit of college education, you got that combination going on, the chances of you getting screwed over is zero. If you're really street smart, like, Brooklyn boy over here, Brooklyn, New Jersey, okay, on their toes, okay, chances of somebody screwing me, okay, they haven't even laid the foundation on that school that's going to teach them how to do that to this dude. I can assure you that. So, listen, be smart. Ask questions. It doesn't cost nothing. You join our Telegram group right down below, and you can ask as many questions as you want. You could become an ask hole. Okay. You ask questions, and people in there will tell you, hey, you're about to get screwed. Don't do it. And just by asking a few questions inside the room, you might save yourself a lot of, stress and anger, and you might save you your XRP. You see, don't get greedy because these guys are trying to push your greed buttons. And when they hit that greed button and you react a certain way, they know they move in for the jugular vein and they move fast, boy. Once you move that money, it's too late. Once that money ends up on their quantum wallet, they set up these wallets. I don't know. Some of these guys are brilliant. They set up incredible websites. Once you move that money, it's over.
Yeah.
And we can't save you.
Absolutely.
Brother, thank you for sharing that documentation with us. It was awesome. Guys, tell everybody in the world that Mel Carmine has proof. Gesara Nassar is happening. Debt forgiveness is happening. I don't want to hear it's not happening. I got proof.
Happening.
I got documentation.
I think seriously, Mel, for me, because I've been in this for 4 years and a lot of people are asleep, and I've been preaching this for a while. For it to happen to me when I've been preaching it to other people, that just seals it for me. It
Yes.
didn't happen to my brother, didn't happen, and I had to explain it to them why it's happening. It actually happened to me. So
Yes. Yes. And it's going to happen more and more and more. Would you agree, Patrick, that the minute Donald Trump gets back, it's game on? This is going to happen. Like I
once
will I
once
will have to
he
hire like 5 co-hosts to keep
yeah.
up, maybe be able to put a scratch on the amount of people that are going to come say, Mel, we got debt forgiveness. We want to come on your show.
Once he comes back and it's on the mainstream, optically he's back, the financial system is going to switch over. It's gonna go from fiat, it's
Like
gonna
that.
go right over the quantum financial system. Everything can be asset backed, because obviously you can't give the guy that's in there right now, or the guy that's in there right now, can't give him credit. Everything has to happen at once. And that's what I think gold, silver, XRP, all those ISO coins, everything's going to go together. I think everything is designed to go together. And as you know, you probably think XRP backed by gold, XLM backed by silver, right? Everything's going to be on the blockchain. Everything's going to be tokenized in the future. It's going to
Yes.
be decentralized. It's going to be apparent.
Now, do
So
you think that there's somebody with a remote control, a white hat military guy, controlling these clones on what they say, what they do to try and wake up the normies, whoever's there's some people now at this point, normies that were hardcore normies 2 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. are coming to a realization of like, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, I mean, I think there's a combination of everything. I think there was a combination of actors being put in place to wake certain people up, and I also think that the CGI is out there. It's so easy to do CGI. We've seen a lot of videos with Biden in office where he's not even there. His hands are going through the microphone and whatnot, but it's a combination. It does get frustrating for the people that are awake because there's a lot of because we're still in a war. I mean, we've won it, but we're still in it, and so there's still a couple of Hail Marys maybe they can throw. It won't work. We're in a chess match. We're pretty much almost checkmate here. But there's a lot of lies, but they mix in some truths with it. So there's disinformation, there's misinformation, and so you have to take that, you have to discern it and really find out what's going on because no one knows exactly. But you have to use your eyes and your ears and go, that doesn't look right, and that doesn't sound right, and it can't be mathematically impossible for this to keep happening, and nobody's going to realize what's going on. So
Absolutely. Now, let me
yeah,
switch gears for you before I let you go. Is I like
yeah.
where this conversation is headed. What do you make of the fact that people like 107 2 years ago was poo-pooing XRP? Today he owns XRP. What do you make of the fact that guys like Andy Scheckman from Miles Franklin, if you guys want to buy some gold and silver delivered to your door at the cheapest prices, don't waste your time. The link is down below, right? What do you make of the fact that these two guys, who I have the most utmost respect for both of them individually, what do you make of the fact that both of these guys have tipped their toe in the water on several occasions and now own XRP? Is that maybe a
Well,
wake up call?
yeah, well, I think like, and I listened to Andy. So I think for Andy, I mean, his lane's just been it has been in precious metals for years, right? So that's what he thinks about. He understands the economics behind asset-backed currency and what that does and how to preserve wealth. But he was a little, I wouldn't say slow, but a little bit hard to understand how digital assets are going to move those assets, the XRP, the ISO coins, Basel III compliance. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't, I don't think he realized back then that it's all going to be working together. I think he
Sure.
knows now. I think he's talked to you. I think he actually bought some XRP and I think he should. But people don't, in a way, people don't gravitate towards what they don't know. They gravitate towards what they know and they pitch it and that's his business. But I think he's finally understanding how it's all coming together. Now, Juan is an interesting guy because I followed Juan early on. I listened to, I think you probably know him as Nino,
You
David
know, Rodriguez?
Rodriguez.
Sure.
So, I started listening to Juan when he was on David. And, in the beginning, Juan had a lot of information and whatnot, but I got to be honest, like Juan gets very long winded, right? I'm like, let's, Juan, get to the point and get to the point. And I think he likes to give nuggets on what's going on. He may not have all the information. I'm not sure who his source is, but it's interesting that he is now on that bandwagon. That it could be where whoever's talking to him, like, hey, you're actually able to talk about it now. Maybe before they couldn't talk about it. Maybe he knew and he couldn't talk about it. I can remember years ago when I first got into XRP. The first time I ever heard of it was with Charlie Ward
Sure.
and Jack Kidd. I heard that. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. What is that? And then I'm happen to have a buddy that was in Bitcoin and Ethereum, started talking to him about it. And it was interesting because I think Charlie obviously has a lot of intel and a lot of sources, but I think he was told kind of to back off the XRP talk because he was in it. He said XRP is going to run the quantum financial system. And this is what you should be doing. It's going to be on the blockchain. And then probably about a month or two later, he's just talking about precious metals, which is great. But I think probably hey, just back off that. Maybe they weren't quite ready, to announce that or whatnot. But more and more people are now understanding. They are if they're in this community, they're understanding what's going on. So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's to their benefit. Everything, whether you're revaluing the dinar, the dong, the zim, it's a revaluation of currency. That those currencies are going to be backed by precious metals assets, depending on what that country produces. That's what's going to go on. And then they're going to have to run. They're going to have to, they're going to have to transfer gold to Zen, Zim. You're going to have to transfer silver to the Yuan, whatever. How are you going to do that? Okay, you can't do that on the Swift system. You can't. You can do it in 3 seconds with XRP though.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
pennies on the dollar.
I could tell you that both 107 and Andy Scheckman, both of them are repeat offenders. To become a repeat offender on buying XRP, that means you have to buy the XRP at least 3 times. And I could tell you that they are both repeat offenders at this point. The central bank digital currency, the XRP Army 1.0 sounds like a broken record. They don't understand. Even Donald Trump said, when I get in, and he's coming back in, whether they're going to have a fair election and allow the guys to, with the finagling debacle of that thing that happened back in 2020 without getting, you guys understand what we're saying, right? That presidential contest, let's call it that, okay? Presidential contest that really got finagled. He said it. Central bank digital currencies is not going to see the light of day. You understand. I don't have to. I know that you understand the peer-to-peer situation, right?
Absolutely.
Why do we need a central bank digital currency? I don't believe we do. You believe that?
No, you don't. And the central bank digital currency is just, it's just the bad guys. It's their way of control. It's their way to lock you in. It's their way to put us into a social credit score.
Right.
Because that's what they're doing. It listen, they don't want people to have cash. They don't. And I know cash is a lot of people don't carry it anymore, but cash is also prevented them from moving forward with the central bank digital currency. But you don't need it. The only reason why you would need it is to control who's using it. That's why you need it. So,
well, I think you'll agree.
I think that's the issue with a lot of the truthers out there in the XRP 1.0 that you talk about. They're still in that lane. They're still in, XRP is going to be in central bank digital currency. You don't need a CBDC if you have XRP. You don't need CBDC on the blockchain. And the blockchain is decentralized.
Yes.
Okay. A CBDC is central bank digital currency, centralized.
Okay.
So
if the bad boys had won this game and the central bank digital currency had a legitimate spot on the international blockchain, this turkey would have been out of the oven. XRP would have been worth whatever, but we would all be enslaved because we got to walk down the street with a box saying, Patrick is a bad boy. He's 1,700 below score on the social credit score. He can't buy a car. He can't buy a loaf of bread. He can't sell. He can't feed his family. All of that, right? That hasn't happened, which we should all rejoice. We should all rejoice because the XRP is 55 cents, 52 cents, whatever. I don't even know because I don't look at it every day.
And Mel, I have a theory on that. When Ripple won the lawsuit against the SEC back, I think it was July or June last year, I think all of us were expecting a big jump, and we got a jump, but that was like a speculative jump, right? So people buying in and everything. In my true opinion, I had to take a breather off of it. I'm like, okay, I got upset again, but XRP is not designed now to work in a fiat system. It's not. It's designed to move asset money through a blockchain. And so we haven't switched over to the new financial system. And in my opinion, that's why XRP hasn't mooned or hasn't got increased, because we're not there yet. It's steady there, but we're able obviously to buy some more as well, along with some other ISO coins as well. So once we move into the new financial system, and it's coming, okay, whether it's coming next week or if we are going to have the contest in November, which I don't think we have. If we do, it's going to look something different than we've ever seen before. But I don't think once we move over to the new system, that's when you're going to see those ISO coins start doing what they're designed to do, which is basically utility.
Right, exactly. Utility is going to win the day. Did you hear of this? I was with my good friend Jim Gale yesterday. Foodforestabundance.com. Foodforestabundance.com. Great guy. Jim and I go back many, many years. And he said that 16 satellites fell out of the sky yesterday, or they reported yesterday, but they've been falling out of the sky. I'm talking about the Starlink system. Have you heard anything about this?
I didn't hear anything about Starlink falling. I mean, obviously, what happened was it last Thursday or something with AT&T and
Mm-hmm.
some other cell phone carriers going down. And I had my own opinion on that. That was just, if you look, I think Elon Musk was on X and tweeted like, "This is a test," in like 17 hours. Right after that, the cell phones go down in certain areas. Like
Mm-hmm.
my company uses AT&T, and everybody on the southeast, like this, like Alabama, Florida, and whatnot, they had issues. I didn't have issues with it, but I did not hear. Now I heard over a year ago that the Mossad satellites were getting destroyed. I heard that, but I've not heard anything about Starlink going down. I haven't, but so.
Yeah. Well, if that's true, because I got to tell you the truth, I live here in Merritt Island. My center is located here in Cape Canaveral. We're about 8 to 10 miles at the most, I think, from the launch pad. And I've never seen the amount of launches. They've had as many of two launches in one single day, which
Oh,
is
you're talking about launching the Starlink satellites.
launching. They're launching more, I think, to replace whatever fell out of the sky. If that story ends up being true, I don't know. I'm still verifying it.
So maybe the satellites that are falling out were the Mossad satellites that was the bad guys were using to run everything. So I don't know,
Who
but
knows?
maybe,
Who
yeah,
nobody. This movie is so convoluted. I sort of sympathize with the normies because you come into this movie
yeah,
theater, it is so complicated. Most of them
yeah,
go running out, back out like little bitches crying.
yeah. Well, I always tell my wife, I'm like, it's like being awake is a gift and it's a curse too. It's because we're the ones waiting for the next thing. We're the ones why everybody else is watching football, and I watch football, but everybody's busy doing what they've always been doing, and they're not awake. And sometimes being awake, that you carry a heavy burden with that. Not only you're waiting and hoping things come, you're also trying to wake other people up,
Correct.
and that's very cumbersome, very tiresome, and whatnot. But
Correct. Correct. Well, guys, we're done with this show. If you like this content as much as I like interviewing Mr. Patrick, get it out there far and wide. Let's beat the algorithms, okay? And don't forget, June 9th, the Quantum Summit is going to take place. We're going to let you know who's coming, and let's go, man, because we're about to change the world on many, many fronts. There's going to be everything about quantum healing, quantum nutrition, quantum mechanics, flying cars. We're going to talk about everything at this summit. Okay. The financial system, all of it. So it's going to be from A to Z, everything quantum. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay right behind, brother. Thank you.
yep,
But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay. Go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is without question the holy grail of what's to come. Okay. T-shirts. You got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Unified TV will take over Netflix. We're bringing in the next genre of movie producers and storytellers and actors and actresses. And we're telling the story of how the world is going to be on earth as it is in heaven. Gesara is coming. Don't make no mistake about it. Gold and silver, right down below. Promo code Mel Carmine. Make sure you use the promo code. Almost $8 billion in sales. We're direct to like a bunch of mints. We are the ones that can get you the gold and silver directly to your door, okay, at the cheapest price. Don't even waste your time looking for a cheaper price. It doesn't exist. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. Our Patriots are literally waiting for you in the room. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776 at Gmail, and we'll get you as much as you want.